So anyway, the first theory involves Hermione Granger and the Alohomora spell. Now, as you know, in this game, Hermione teaches you Alohomora. But what if Professor Flitwick was meant to teach you Alohomora? Because if you really think about it, students shouldn't really have the authority to give out points, and yet Hermione does. Maybe there's a possibility that he was simply too busy to actually teach anybody any other spell than Wingardium Leviosa. And like I said, Hermione is giving out points. That maybe has some correlation to do with the fact that she may have been given the approval of being a small teacher before the actual spell lesson starts. Either that or Hermione is pretty skilled and can teach spells on her own. And considering the fact that she has a small challenge or at least a test before the Wingardium Leviosa lesson, it is within a realm of possibility. Anyway, the next theory involves Hagrid within this game, and that's when you meet him at the Hogwarts grounds. Now, there isn't anything special about his speech, but what is interesting is towards the end when he tells you that you are coming to his hut for a cup of tea after your lessons are done. Now the question is, he does say lessons. Was there some intention for multiple lessons to be had, or was it just a throwaway line? And when we're really thinking about it, was there a possibility that we would actually have tea with him, but then we went out to look for fire seeds for an egg? Next up, let's talk about her biology class, and this is an interesting one. Why exactly is there that you are going through a gauntlet of fire snails as well as a labyrinth of venomous tentacula? Well, there is a possibility that Professor Sprout were to have all of these challenges appear right after you have entered the challenge. Because, well, you don't learn Incendio up until you actually reach the classroom, and that one happens after all of this. So could maybe she have placed it right here to make the challenge less tedious? Well, I actually would think there is a possibility. Firstly, it belongs in the garden theme, sort of, and there is also some puzzles involving Wingardium Leviosa. Now, this challenge is split up into two parts as is, and if it's actually right, well, this challenge would be longer than planned, than was ended up being. So the next theory involves some of these enemies, the fire snails as well as the fire crabs. Now the fire snails appears at this very bit. Why do they do that? Well, where did they come from? Well, quite honestly, given the fact that this is such a small space around the castle as well as the Hogwarts grounds, it's actually is an interesting thing to question. Where did they come from? Now, it's so different with the fire crabs because they were at least mentioned by Dumbledore. They do appear in this cavern as well, but only at this bit. At no other point, especially since you are indoors after the Quidditch match is over, do they appear at all. Was the intention that they were going to appear indoors? Well, in the PlayStation version, that very thing does happen, but not in this one. Now, as you know, whenever you enter the potions lesson and you are supposed to be getting ingredients to actually put together a Wiggle potion. Firstly, was the intention that this bridge was going to collapse, or was the intention that it always would? And secondly, why exactly are there challenge stars to collect? I mean, it's not like it grants you any points. But maybe Dumbledore plays that to get to try and give Harry some support. But since Dumbledore isn't there to actually reinforce that concept, well, maybe Snape wouldn't really give Harry life points at all. He takes away 3 of them after all. Now, there are 3 stars around, so maybe that is why he takes away 3 house points. What if the nearly headless Nick was killed at this very Lumos challenge? Now, as you can see, you are now at the part of Lumos challenge whenever there's like complete darkness and there's just a black void underneath us. Now, as you can see, nearly headless Nick appears right here, and he says to her that he has found his resting place. Could it be that nearly headless Nick just died in the Lumos challenge and then became a ghost? He doesn't really seem to be that much bothered by it. Maybe that used to be the case and that no one noticed, or that Dumbledore simply just didn't want to alert the students about it. Well, given the fact that everybody knows everything at Hogwarts is kind of difficult, I think. But there is a possibility. Okay, so last theory is going to be involving the troll. Now, how did the troll get into the dungeon to begin with? After all, you have seen all of the rooms and all of the corners of this castle, and yet Harry and Ron head upstairs in this direction. But where are they heading? There's only like one closed door that you're heading through, and I'm pretty sure that you have gone through it before. So, at what point and where exactly do Harry and Ron go through to actually get to this huge corridor and then to the girls' bathroom to rescue Hermione? So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been Harry Potter PC theories and questions. I was going to just do a theory video, but then I realized the remaking of this that it also ended up being a few questions. Now, I do have the intention of making some of these, but when they come, well, we just have to wait and see. So, if you look right now, you will see some videos leading you to other things to see if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!